Hello all. Hope you all can see me and hear me. I'm not on mute. Normally, I keep myself on mute and start speaking. Then only after a few minutes only I will realize, oh, okay, I was on mute. So hopefully this is audio is clear, video is clear, and screen is shared. No issues with that. Yes. Okay. Cool. Let me start by saying good morning for India, India people. It's a Saturday morning for us, and thank you for joining today, early morning for probably for IT people. A 9:30 or 8:30 conference is pretty early, but this is India Cloud Security Summit is very important, and you are going to learn lot of things today, so don't miss it. First of all, welcome you all. Let's start. Okay, let me try to. Okay. Um, so lot of exciting giveaways available, don't miss it. There will be questions from this session also, so listen to me carefully, or listen, look at the slides carefully, so that you would be able to win some of these exciting prizes. Okay. And this is important, right? Support a cause, and we are going the s- India Security Cloud Security Summit is going to help these kind of kids and all other courses, right? So please support us. Please share the um, knowledge, all right, and share the conference details with your colleagues and friends, so that they can also join and they can also learn a lot of things, and this will help the kids also, right? And today's session is all about cloud policies. Let's see what is cloud policy, etc. I will come to my bio a bit later. So this is all about securing endpoints, desktop laptops, any kind of endpoint devices, right? It can be mobile devices, etc., etc. But for today, I'm going to cover Windows devices, and this is all about me. My name is Anup C. Nair, and I'm a IT community influencer, Microsoft MVP from 2015. We have a community, small community called HTMD community, How to Manage Devices community, and you can follow me on Twitter with that Twitter handler over here, right? So that is all about me and the community. And from a technology perspective, I've always been an SCM guy, right, or configuration manager guy. Lately, I started working with AVD and Windows 365, Azure Virtual Desktop, and Windows 365. So today again, this is all about cloud policies. We will have some fun in today's session. Okay, let's dive into it. Let me build this slide first, and then we'll talk about it. So this is the security overview of the Microsoft ecosystem, basically. And today we are going to concentrate on endpoints and devices, mainly Windows endpoints, using a unified endpoint management solution from Microsoft. That is nothing but Microsoft Intune. Recently, in Microsoft Ignite, they changed the brand name. It was previously called Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Now the entire product ecosystem is called Microsoft Intune. Okay, so this is all. This is what I was talking about. So this is the endpoint endpoint management UEM is Unified Endpoint Management, and this is the industry term. And Microsoft's UEM solution is Microsoft Intune. And Microsoft Intune product is going to have all these Microsoft Intune Configuration Manager, that is SCM, and Intune Suite for advanced solutions, Intune Remote Help, Microsoft Tunnel for mobile application management, Microsoft Endpoint Privilege Management, etc. Right, and Intune is going to support all these platforms. Okay, already supporting all these platforms: Windows, iOS, iPad OS, Mac OS. All these kind of devices, platform devices, can be supported through Intune, Microsoft Intune. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So here we are going to start the actual presented technical stuff. I'm going to cover things in a lot of demos. So bear with me for a few slides initially, and then we will directly dive into the demos. Okay. So first of all, you need to define the cloud policy deployment strategy. Probably your security team within your organization might have already a guideline or security baseline. They might be following some baselines from CIS. I have seen many organizations within the IT industry use CIS baseline for security policies, cloud policies, etc., etc. Right? So recently, I think 1 year back, my CIS added support for Microsoft Intune for Windows 10 basically, and Windows 10 and Windows 11 are on based on the same code. So Windows, it works for Windows 11 as well. Okay, this baseline works for benchmark, works for Windows 11 as well. Okay, but I'm sure CIS will be releasing a benchmark for Windows 11 specifically with some new features, etc., probably later. Okay, so CIS is an important thing. If your organization is following the CIS baseline or benchmark for security policies, um, we are going to cover that in today's this particular session. Okay, and that this is part of the defining security strategy for your endpoints. Okay, endpoint devices, and there are different options within Microsoft Intune to provide this kind of support. Okay, so in terms of you can see security settings catalog is there, and security baseline is there. Security baseline is the easiest one to deploy if you are a small organization and you don't have resources to spend a lot of time on each individual policies based on CIS benchmark. Then you can go with Microsoft product teams recommended benchmark or security baseline. So this is basically a template. Baseline, security baseline in Intune is a template, and you can configure according to your requirements. For example, if you want to enable a encryption policy, you can enable it, and you can change the configuration of it if you want, right? So all that is why I called that as a template, right? So you don't need to search for each individual policies. The policies will be in that particular template, and within from that template you would be able to select the policies. Okay, so that is the easiest method to deploy cloud policies. Okay, security baseline, and there are custom policy options available. If you look at the CIS benchmark, right, there's a option to download CIS benchmark for free, and I will cover that in next slide. But in that you would be able to see the custom policies, etc. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, and this is all about CIS benchmark. So this is what the PDF looks like. I have downloaded it. I am going to go through this in the demo later. So don't worry about this now. But just to give you an overview or a glance, you can see it gives you how to use this, how to create this policy using Intune. It says Intune homepage, go to Intune homepage, devices, configuration, blah 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 blah, and it is custom policy, right? You can see over here it is custom policy, and this download CIS benchmark PDF is free. You don't need to pay anything for this to download this particular benchmark for Microsoft Intune policies. So I recommend doing this, and most of my clients organizations are using CIS benchmark to secure the devices, okay, secure the endpoints using the cloud policies. Okay, so one tip from my side is, even though CIS benchmark shows the custom policies, you don't necessarily need to use that custom policies, because Microsoft is regularly updating the settings catalog or out of box policies, which I'm going to show you, called settings catalog. All right. And over there, you would be able to see all these kind of policies. So I'm going to show you this as an example in the demo. So wait for it. And the next topic which I'm going to cover in this session is how to kind of migrate from on-prem group policy to the cloud policies, okay, using Microsoft Intune. So first of all, if you are an organization using the group policies for 10, 20 years, 10, 15 years at least, then you might have lot of hundreds or more than that of group policies. Then you don't need to migrate all the group policies, old one, legacy ones, Internet Explorer group policies. So you, that is not required, right? It is already retired product. So those kind of legacy group policies are not required. So you don't need to migrate each and every group policy to the cloud policy. That is not recommended. I won't recommend that. But go through some of the policies and understand which is applicable for Windows 10 devices if you are managing Windows 10 and Windows 11 devices, right? And then only migrate those policies, not all the group policies. Okay. So Intune, Microsoft Intune is giving you the option to analyze the policy and say whether that particular group policy is supported from a MDM or cloud policy perspective or not. Okay, so this is the workflow for that, but I'm going to go through this in the demo, so don't worry about it now. Okay, so that is all about the migration from group policies to the cloud policy. Okay, so it is time to go to demos now. I don't know whether demo gods are with me today or not. Anyways, we will check. Let's stop sharing this and let me share my other screen so that I can show you something more interesting, I would say. Let me check. Hopefully I'm sharing the good screen. So this is the benchmark which I was talking about. Okay, so let me take the highlighter and let me take the help of this. Okay, so this is the CIS benchmark, as you can see over here. And if you go down, you can see CIS Microsoft Intune for Windows 10 and Windows 11 will be coming soon, I hope. All right, and this is a good start, this document, right? You can download it for free, as I mentioned, and you can go through it. In a table of content, you can see lot of things available, lot of policies. Each security policies are explained over here. right? For example, system service policies, how to secure the registry, file system, etc., etc., right? Domain profiles, public profiles, all these details are available in this CIS benchmark policy. So let me go to the first introduction, basically overview. In the overview, you would be able to see this document provides guidelines for establishing secure configuration poster for Microsoft Intune for Windows 10 benchmark, right? And that is this is applicable for Windows 11 as well. Okay. So intended audience, Intune joint systems. That means Intune joint devices means you can use hybrid Azure AD joint devices. I hope you know what is hybrid Azure AD joint devices. So that is domain joint devices plus Azure AD registered devices. That is hybrid Azure AD joint devices, and it can be used for Azure AD joint devices. Azure AD joint devices, the only way to apply policies is the cloud policies, not the group policy, because it is not domain joint devices. It is Azure AD joint devices. The device records will only be available in Azure AD. That is why only the cloud policies can be applied to Azure AD joined Windows 10, Windows 11 devices. Okay, so both the devices should be managed via Intune. A device management solution must be Intune, right? Then only you would be able to use cloud policies for those devices. There are other scenarios like co-managed devices, etc. So I'm not going to cover those kind of scenarios at this moment in this particular session. So let's go to that particular policy which I showed you previously in the slide. So this is the policy I was talking about. I was sharing. This is a device configuration policy, and this is to restrict user cannot add or log on with Microsoft account, their personal Microsoft account, to a corporate endpoint or Windows 11 or Windows 10 device. This is a policy for that. And in this policy, in the CIS document, a benchmark document itself, you would be able to see, oh, okay, it says go to Intune homepage, log into Endpoint Manager portal. I will show you what does that portal, how that looks like, etc. In a bit. So Intune homepage, and then go to devices. It gives you step by step detailed explanation where to go in Intune and how to add, etc., etc. And most importantly, it provides the details of the policy here in an XML format, so that you can just copy paste the custom policy, and you create it in a fraction of second, or in 2 minutes or something like that, right? So it is very straightforward. Okay, and you can say save, and there are some notes. Default values are also mentioned over here, right? And if you go down, you would be able to see some other kind of policies like that. So you would be able to see the um, local policies over here, and how the group policy looks like, and then below you would be able to see the cloud policies. Okay, so group policies will be there, and then cloud policies. So that is also very interesting information, and you can compare both the solutions, right? Group policy as well as the cloud policy. So you must download the CIS benchmark, and then you would be able to see even registry values, and then the computer configuration, navigation path for group policies to um, to secure the endpoint devices, and then Below, you would be able to see the cloud policies from Microsoft Intune. Okay, so that is the overview of a CIS benchmark document. This is very useful document in my understanding. You it hopefully it is useful for you also to implement the cloud policies in your organization. Okay, so let's dive into some more demos. um, Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center. I think this name is going to change. As I mentioned in the initial slide, Microsoft Ignite completed a few weeks before, uh, rebranded this solution. This is a UEM solution, previously named a UEM solution for Microsoft. That was called Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Now it is Microsoft Intune. So probably this will change soon, and it will be Microsoft Intune Admin Center, okay, rather than Microsoft Endpoint Manager. So over here, there are two places where the security admins should uh, look into. One is endpoint security. Endpoint, I will come to that in a bit. And in endpoint security, you would be able to see lot of endpoint security related scenarios and policies, etc., etc. Right? So that would be very interesting for all the security folks around here. So endpoint security, let's dive into that. Endpoint security, you would be able to see that you can connect with a Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. You can create a connection between Intune and Microsoft Endpoint for device management. So so if you click on that, you would be able to see, okay, there's an option to do that, how to connect it, etc., etc. And I'm going to go not going to go through that. And in the tab, you would be able to see all the details, like what is security baseline. We mentioned about security baseline. Security baseline is the easiest way to deploy the cloud policies. You would be able to see there are different security baselines recommended from Microsoft product group. Windows 10 and later, this is applicable for Windows 11, 10 and 11. And there are security policies applicable for Windows Defender. If you click on this, you would be able to create a profile. I would say um, India Cloud Security or something like that, right? India Cloud. Let's see, and click on next, and you would be able to see different kind of policies. You can enable it. This is a template, right? You can enable it, you can disable it. If you see the BitLocker, you can configure it, and you can say, oh, okay, not configured, required, a compatible TPM startup pin requirement for BitLocker. You can configure it, for example, right? And compatible startup key, that is also available over here. And there are a lot of options, like encryption method for fixed data drives. So over here, you will get a lot of options. So this is the template, and recommended by Microsoft. You can use this template and configure the policies according to your requirement, your organization's requirement. And if you are looking for some specific policies, you would be able to see a search over here. Search function is very useful over here. If I want to check the firewall policies for my endpoint, you can check over here what are the firewall policies available for me. Okay. uh, for my devices, Windows 11 and Windows 10 devices. So if you want to not configure it, and if you want to block it, you can do it from this particular template. And I'm going to say next quickly, and you can define a scope if you want, and then you can add a device group to it, actually. HTMD device group, probably, if you want to apply it to an HTMD Windows device group, if you want, right? And I'm not going to assign it to any group now, but it is just It is just the way to create the policies, the use the security baseline policy. So as I mentioned, it is very straightforward. You will get a template, and you need to go through that template and define it, right? And that is the easiest way. For a smaller organizations, that is the best way to go. And if you are a big organization with more than 100K clients or 50K clients, and you have a dedicated security team, and they follow the CIS benchmark, etc., then you need to use a different method to do that. So for Microsoft Edge also, there are security baseline policies. You can define Edge policies from here. So for example, let's say India, and then click on that. You would be able to see different kind of edge related security policies available over here. Okay, and this is the first preferred recommended method for the smaller organizations, etc. And if you filter on this particular policy, Windows devices and configuration policies, the configuration policies is the another place to create the cloud policies within Microsoft Intune. So if I go to configuration profiles, you can create a profile over here. This is the way to create the cloud policy. So for example, I'm going to create a policies for Windows 11, and then I'm going to select profile type. Always select settings catalog. I recommend this method rather than using the custom policy. So if you go to template, if you select the template, you would be able to see a custom policy option over here, and you can select the custom policy. And this is the way which is mentioned in the CIS benchmark document, which we have had seen a bit before. So I don't recommend this. This should be your last resource. If the particular policy, CIS policy, is not available in the settings catalog, then you can come back to custom policy and configure a custom policy. Okay, hopefully that is useful information. Okay, let's create a custom policy and name it as Cloud India Cloud something something, right? And click next. Always remember to put the description. I'm not going to do that for this demo, but if it would be useful for your fellow admins, Intune admins, they can understand what the heck is this. All right. Okay, next, and over here you can click on this link, add settings. In the add settings, you would be able to see different options to select, and search is the best option I have seen in this. um, let me search for one particular setting over here, right? So which one was that? Let me go to local policies. Okay, local security policy options. Let's copy this, and let's go back over here and then check, search for this probably. Yeah, so you can see that is the category of the policy, and you can see that policy is there in the settings catalog by default. And that was, if you remember, that policy was to CIS benchmark document was referring to block the Microsoft personal Microsoft account login. All right. So let's see how to block it. So you can see over here, there are options to block different local security policy. Security policy options are available over here. This one was, we are talking about this one. We are checking about this one on that particular CIS benchmark document. So I'm checking the time. I hope it is we have enough time. Okay, so let's check one policy. So as you can see, I have selected this policy from here, and it appeared over here. Okay, and we will go to this particular thing in a bit. Before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether guest account, something about guest is available in the benchmark or not. Huh? Um, disabling the policies benchmark. Guest account. Okay, disable the guest account. So that is there, and disable local account, enable. Okay, it says it is recommended to disable the guest account as per the CIS benchmark. So let's let's enable that policy also. Okay, and then close this once you select whatever CIS policies you want, and then close it. And then over here you would be able to see the options like similar to group policy. You can see, oh, and I have an enable option, I have a disable option. And if I hover over here, the icon, information icon, you would be able to see, oh, okay. So what is this particular policy? What is this all about? Huh? Enable guest account and how to use it, etc., etc. And what is this about? Uh, Accounts block Microsoft accounts. Okay. What is this all about? And if you want more information, you can click on learn more, and that will directly get you to the Microsoft documentation, right? Microsoft learn documentation page. They renamed the Microsoft Docs to Microsoft Learn. Okay. And over here you would be able to see different options. Disable, enable, user cannot add login Microsoft account. So this is the recommended way. So once you select these policies, then you can say next, and the workflow is same as the previous one. um, Next, and then you can add the device group, or you can deploy it to. There are a lot of different deployment options. That is not the topic of our session today, so I'm going to skip that. And then you can just create that particular policy. Okay, and that is pretty easy, isn't it? So that is all about converting or creating CIS benchmark policies using the settings catalog. So that is the second method which I wanted to show. Now let's go into the group policy migration topic very quickly. Okay, so over here you can see the platforms which I showed in the slide, platforms supported by Microsoft Intune. Okay, so over here you
You don't.
anybody has a question, or it's okay. Okay, cool. So group policy analytics, that is where you can do all the magic of migrating, importing group policies, and then analyzing it, and then migrating it to the cloud policy. So let's have a quick look into it. What is the process? So this would be the end result, right? So I will come to that in a bit, but you can see over here it is getting refreshed now. Okay, so you can see the dashboard here ready for migration. I have already 77 group policies ready for migration, and out of the migrate out of the imported policies, group policies, 18 are not supported. Probably these are legacy policies. And Microsoft Intune product team, settings catalog, program manager, is very active in Twitter. So you can contact him and request for, if you are missing some policy in Tune, cloud policy in terms of support, you can ask them why it is not there. What is the reason? Probably there are some different policies, better policies available in MDM. So you can check that out, or you can check the Microsoft learn documentation page. And even HDMD community has lot of blog posts about all these policies, different types of policies, etc. Okay, so let's try to import a group policy. So as you can see over here, you it is already helping you with how to import a group policy. And how to do that, etc. Right? If you click on import, you would be able to see that more details over here. You can, it says gpmc.msc, open that tool from your server somewhere, right? And then export using the backup option. Don't use backup and export option. Yeah, basically you need to use the backup option. Okay, right click on a particular group policy object and click on backup, select the backup option, this one, and then export a back, take a backup of it, and inside that backup there would be a GUID, and inside that GUID folder, the folder name would be some GUID, and inside that folder there would be a file called gpreport.xml. That is a file you need for importing the group policies to Microsoft Intune. So let's quickly take one example over here. So let's say, um, so this is my where is it? Yeah, this is my exported policy, group policy, and you can see XML file over here, gpreport.xml. I'm going to click on that and click OK, and it was processing before. Now it says import completed. Now you can close this once the green check mark is there and it says import completed. That means the group policy is import is completed. Mine is a very small policy. That is why it took a fraction of the second to import it, right? But if you are importing a lot of bulk group policies, it is going to take some time. Okay, I'm checking the time again, and you would be able to see a new group policy object over here. See, this is the new one which we uh, imported. Now you can see the date over here and the time, right? So it is 10:12 a.m. and it is 29th. This is the day for the Cloud Security Summit, India Cloud Security Summit. And you would be able to see there are some important information over here. Okay, MDM support. 33 percentage of this security settings, policy setting, group policy settings are MDM supported. Remaining um, percentage are not supported. The policy settings are not supported, right? And unknown settings, you can view it and you can see targeted in AD and all the details like that. And if you click on this, you would be able to see an option to delete it if you don't want to do it, if you don't want this particular policy, for example. Okay, so and there are different percentage of policies. Some policies you can see it is fully MDM supported. All the settings are MDM supported, and the another policies there are zero support, right? And there are some policies which I exported doesn't have any settings, just create a blank policy object, right? So and over here you this is very important information, useful information. So let's go into the 33 percentage. Click on that and you would be able to see all the details. So allow user camera, that is in that option, that policy is available in cloud policy. um, Allow widgets, that is not available in cloud policy. It is available in group policy, but it is not available in the cloud policy. Why it is not available? Maybe there are some reasons for this. So that is why I mentioned you can refer to that documentation which I showed a bit before, and you can always reach to Intune support team in Twitter, and they are very responsive and very quick in Twitter. So you can always use that, or you can use HTMD forums also to ask questions. Okay. Okay, so you can see there are the value option over here, scope and minimum OS version supported, all these details are available here. Okay, and corresponding CSP policies are available, also available here. So there are some policies that are already deprecated, so you don't need to worry about it because it is already deprecated, right? And there would be a policy, new policy available for all these. So these are deprecated policies and there won't be any cloud policy for this, but all the green check marks are um, available. Those settings are available, those cloud policy settings are available. And if you click on 97 percentage, all these are available. Only the deprecated policies are having trouble over here, so we don't need to worry about it. And then what you can do is, once you finalize, you are sure, okay, you want to migrate all these policies, what you can do is click on migrate. Okay, just do not do this blankly. Clear Analyze the policies, and you can have an option over here to select the policies which you want. You can do the selection like this. For example, I just want to have these these four policies, for example. To migrate, I want to migrate only these policies. Probably take five policies, and then you can see, oh, I want all these policies to be migrated, group policies to Intune or cloud policies. So click on that and you would be able to see, okay, these are the settings, policy settings which I have selected. And then click on next. Read all these notes. This is very important, right? Click on next and give it a policy name, India group policy to cloud policy. Okay, cloud policy. Then click on next, and always description is important, right? Um, Click on next, and then click on next. I'm going to not going to assign, and you would be able to see all the details over here, and then deploy it. Once you deploy, it says migration in progress. You would be able to see this particular policy in a group, in a configuration profile over here. So India, probably I forgot what is that policy. Okay, see, there's a new tab also over here. New, this is pretty exciting, right? So this is the advantage of cloud policy. You would be able to see, oh, okay, this cloud migrated policies, group policy migrated settings are available in as a cloud policy. Now you can deploy it to Windows 11, Azure AD joined devices or Intune managed devices. Okay, so let's click on that, and you would be able to see, oh, okay, what are the policies, related policies. So you can check the section also, search section. In the search section, you would be able to see this one. And there's a policy in administrative templates, that is all about battery settings, power settings, right? Power savings, etc., sleep settings. Okay, and then log settings, how to log, allow corona come on, cortana above log. So all those settings are available here. These are the migrated policies from group policy, migrated settings from group policies to cloud policies. So hopefully this was useful. I think we have 10 more minutes. If you have any questions, it is the right time to ask. I have not checked the chat if there's any questions over there or not. I don't see any questions are available in the chat. Oh, okay. Anub, you have. Um, no questions available, Satish. Okay, Satish asked a question. Satish is still here or not? Yes, I think I can see Satish. And why the why do we with rather than templates. Oh, you mean to say the templates? Okay. Um. So that is rather than templates. I mentioned template is the best option if you are a small organization. That is the best option and easiest option, Satish. But if you are a big organization and if your security team is very particular about CIS benchmark. Probably all the CIS benchmarks configurations are not covered in the template, and that is why I have seen real world examples. A lot of people are tend to use settings catalog, and settings catalogs are updated regularly, probably every 2 weeks, even within a week. But the templates are updated. I don't know, there is no timeline, but if you look at the templates, probably you would be able to see every 6 months it's updated. So your, I don't know whether your security team would be happy to wait for 6 months to get a new policy available in the template to use it. So that could be one of the reason which I don't recommend to use templates if your organization is following CIS benchmark. But you can provide this feedback to Microsoft Intune support team, or raise a user voice item, right, to have a frequently updated templates. So that might solve the problem, and that might improve the admin experience, I would say. Does that answer your question, Satish? Okay. Rajneesh. Hi, Rajneesh. Morning. How easy to create policy which are not available? Yeah, okay. So that's a good point. We have 5 minutes. Um, so is there any other question? No, Firoz. Okay. It is pretty easy. For example, I have shown you this one. Okay, so you can see. I wanted to. What is this all about? This policy is guest account. Okay, guest account. I want to see. Um, I want to create a custom policy which is not available in um, the template. Let's assume it is not available. Okay, in the template as well as um, in the settings catalog. Okay, so let me go back to this, and then over here. Okay, let me resize it, and hope I have another 5 minutes. Okay, bear with me for a sec. Devices, and then okay, come on. Okay, so devices, Windows, filter on Windows, and then go to configuration policies, create, and then um, custom, select the template and select the custom and create one, right? And say, okay, guest account disable. Okay, or disable guest account, something like that, right? This guest account, always use the description and then add. Mm. Over here you need to provide the same thing, name and description. You can use the description. I normally use this as the description, so it would be easy for me to understand as the which is the CSP. So I normally put the CSP in the description, and you can see the data value over here, and you can say string, and then you would be able to see OMA URI you need over here, and then let me Enable. Okay, there's a formatting issue. So the copy paste is from the PDF document. You need to be a bit careful. So probably I might need to remove that. Okay, and then might need to remove that. And then check. Uh, then my URI integer value integer. Where is it? Integer value. What is the value? Value is 0, right? 0. So this is the way to create a custom policy if it is not available in settings catalog as well as the in the template, that is security baseline template, right? And save it, and then you would be able to see, okay, next, same process. And there is Anub, you have 4 minutes left. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so any further questions? Is that okay
Okay,
with you,
but the
Rajneesh?
next
Okay, and this is available with MS. Yes, and you can see over here. This is available with MS Link. To MS Link all. Yes, most of them, right? OMA URI. If I search with OMA URI in benchmark document, you can see how it goes. Huh? So you can see 150, 154 references are there for OMA URI, and you would be. I hope there would be all the OMA URI settings over here like this. So happy creating cloud policies, and let me know how the session is, and then get me in touch if you have any further questions, doubts. Always reach out to HTMD community, and hit me on Twitter at the rate Anub Manur. I have shown you in the first slide. So that is all about my session today. Thank you all for watching, hearing out, and hopefully this was helpful. And don't miss the second next session. That is all about Windows 365 architecture. I am very, very excited about Windows 365 cloud PC scenario. Okay, so you must watch that. What is the architecture of Windows 365, and how Microsoft implemented it, and what is the cloud PC experience? I'm a very big fan of cloud PC. Okay, so thank you all. See you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Anup. So the next session will be by Ravi Shankar Nandagopalan. It's going to be on Windows 365 architecture, security, and compliance. And he should be starting about in another 1 minute of time.